always angry, you're gonna go deeper into anger than if you always joyful type, like you barely joyful. You can't get deep into it because you barely focus on joy. You barely focus on, the other shit. Like these are negatives for most people in this world. We focus on negative shit more than we focus on the positive shit. We put some positive shit out there where we barely think about it and we don't get any depth on it. But if you understand all 10,000 thoughts or different types of seeds that you can all let grow and flourish deeply, and now you have a forest type shit. And the deeper you go, the more rich the soil is, or some shit like that. The deeper the soil, the better the nutrients type shit. That's my blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice type analogy. But that's how I would kind of explain it. Like people can get deep in anger, rage, ready to kill people, and then it's how they choose to use it. You can reverse your anger and type shit and use it towards making it a passion and getting out of certain situations. But certain people just get trapped in that dip and don't know how to hold their breath in a sense, or they panic underwater or something like that. But it's just an analogy. Don't get super deep in that. I wasn't even trying to go there, but I seen something I was trying to get there. If y'all got it, y'all got it. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. Let's see. This is a great fucking topic. This is another thing about understanding your square and fucking others. I'm just playing. Don't fuck other people's square. That's how you get in the fights. But I'm just saying, don't really pay attention to other people's. Especially if it don't affect yours. Don't let it, whatever, bro. Okay. Projecting your thoughts onto others instead of just saying it yourself. And I do this a lot, but I notice it during when I'm like being confident and shit. I'm like, they probably think I'm the shit. Because I just do good shit. Like I'm a good coworker, or I'm a good person. Like I might put somebody on game. I'm like I bet they think that shit was live what I said. Truth is, I think it's live what I said, and that's all I need to say. I don't even need to give somebody else credit on what they think about me, because they can easily flip, but they probably think I ain't shit. Might know, nigga, you just don't think you ain't shit, and you just need to stop thinking that. Don't project other people's thoughts on you, and we do that a lot. For instance, like I say, I do it in a confident, arrogant way, and that's it can lead into traps where I always think people think I'm the shit and shit like that, but they might not necessarily think that, and when they say that, I might get offended or something, but that's your fault for thinking that they was thinking that way. So that's why I say, honestly, just understanding when you try to project your thoughts into other people, bro, those are just the things you really want to say to yourself, but you trying to give somebody else, you're giving somebody else to do it, because, I mean, you just don't like listening to yourself, maybe that's the easiest way to explain it. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to... I guess it feels better to think if other people think these things about me, and I think if I'm thinking that these other people think these things about me, it makes me feel better about myself, because now I think it's not just me thinking this. But understand the power of you just thinking it in yourself and believing it is strong enough. Like, you don't need nobody else to believe what you believe in. Swear, for everything. On hood, like, on God. But yeah, catch that shit. And it's usually, especially after interactions, like it's usually after interaction with a person, like whenever y'all have a conversation or some shit, you either be like, I wonder if I bet they think I sounded stupid. Or I bet they think it depends on however you feel about yourself. And no, they don't necessarily feel that. And if they did, they probably thinking it for a whole other set of reasons than what you thinking it. Like, swear, like y'all might both agree, but for all different reasons. I'm just saying, like, so even then, it's like it's never really the same. So just understand, like, if you do feel like you ain't shit, that's something you need to work on. Don't. And then, for instance, if you keep doing this and you keep telling people, if you keep projecting your thoughts into other people and saying they probably think I ain't shit. What I was about to say. Oh, I hate when it happens, man. Fuck. Something about giving them power. Let me see if the notes can spark something. Happens like twice a day. Especially after interactions. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh well. I hate it. I really do. Oh yeah, like I said, man, if you go back to your 10,000 thoughts, if you constantly projecting your thoughts onto other people, you just letting, like, it's just not effective, bro. You like my boy Savin say, you're leaking, period. And you might always leak a little bit. You always gotta Just like when you fermenting food, you always gotta leave the cap a little. You gotta leave the cap a little open so it can fluctuate and move and keep its balance and stabilize so it don't mold or deteriorate. So the right amount of oxygen let out, the right amount of shit is let out. So even then, you need to leak a little bit because that's almost osmosis type shit or stabilization. I don't know if osmosis is, I might be a little off, but I know it's something like that. But yeah, so you might leak a little bit, but we talking about leaking like, nigga, you plugging holes in the you trying to plug holes in a ship that's been shot at type shit. Like, nigga. But yeah, so understand, bro, those 10,000 thoughts, like, try to keep them to yourself, like, understanding that the more that you use those the more that you use those thoughts, the more that you think of your thoughts like a congregation of people. You gotta bring them together. The more that your thoughts start to work together and mesh and bounce off of each other and not attack each other, the more efficient you'll be. That's true alchemy, and that's when we talk about merging all your cells back together to be back one and stop being so divided and fragmented. And that's where Bobby Hemmett talk about schizophrenia and black people having that. You gotta stop fighting with your stuff. You gotta stop dividing yourself, because that's what we do, period. Through many different techniques. Like I said, one of those techniques is projecting your thoughts into other people and thinking they think that about you when it's really just your thoughts. And it's the same thing with the judging. Like when whenever somebody's judging somebody, it's just they're just giving off what they think about themselves and saying it about them, and hopefully that you won't catch that shit and you just agree with them like, oh yeah, they not shit. But it's really you, the person that's fucking talking about them, and they're not even in. You wouldn't even say it to their face. So who really ain't shit? Like, period. But yeah, understanding them 10,000 thoughts are super powerful, and like I said, you're not gonna always have them. Some of them gonna go other places type shit, or some of them are balanced to keep you, like I said, from decaying and shit like that fast and things like that. Well, yeah. Let's see. Got a few more notes, man. We almost done. Okay. This was just me looking at the sun today on the way home from finishing up the show from Absolutely. I'm sure y'all go check it out. It'll be out tomorrow. Out weekly. Visuals on Difra, Difra on YouTube, or you can check my playlist too. But I was looking at the sun on the way home, and I was noticing it how, from my perspective, it looked like it was following me. And as a child, I remember that's how I felt about the moon. Like every time I look up at the moon, bro, every turn we make, the hell is following me. And I started to notice that with the sun. And what made me, it started making me get thoughts and start making me go deeper into, just kind of what our ancestors used to do. They look at nature, they observe it, and they come up with thoughts, and they just period. So I got a message came out from that interaction and staring and looking how the sun was following me. I'm like, bro, that nigga is a mirror. Like, he's literally everywhere I go, it will go. And when it's not there, the moon will be there. And even then, the sun is still following me like a shadow type shit to the moon, versus like when I'm being extra. But the same versus when it's daytime, I still got a shadow. Like even nighttime, you got shadows, but that's kind of moon. But you could say that it's still from the sun's reflection. But no need to get into all that. Back to what I was saying, like I was just like, it's following me just like how the moon follows me. And it reminded me of back to American Gods, where his dead girlfriend can see wherever he's at all times, because he's a fucking flashing like bright ass light. If he's 10,000 miles away across the ocean, she can see him faintly away, but she still sees that light like shining. And she can always, she's always can find it like a bug that sees a light from a distance. Like it's gonna eventually get there, no matter if it get distracted or not. And that's kind of how I looked at the versus the sun. Like it's following me. In the sense of I'm following it, because without it ain't no life or whatever. But it's also following me. So it's like we reflecting each other. And that's how I felt. Like it's a mirror. And there's just as much power that sun has. If it's following me, I must have power. If everywhere I go, you go, why? Why does it have to, like? Why am I so powerful where the sun is always following me? Of course, this is from my perspective, but everybody has a perspective that I have, especially when it comes to the sun and the moon always following them. If it don't, look, I don't know what to tell you. That shit funny. But literally, so it all goes back to that we're all different from different perspectives, looking at the sun differently, but it's all reflecting on us the same, even though we all got our different shoes type shit, or our own views and all that. But like I said, I noticed it in following me. I'm like, damn. It reminds me of American Gods. It reminds me of a mirror and reflecting. So I go into those thoughts, and let me see what else I said. Oh, and it made me think. Let me see. The sun follow you just like the moon and stars. I forgot to say that. Then it made me think about later on when I'm writing these notes. I'm like, okay, well, the moon follow you, the sun follow you, and even stars follow you when they're out. Like they don't always be out type shit. Same with like when it's the moon is a new moon, they're out, but they're not just whatever. They're not in your perspective. But when they are in your perspective, they always are following you. That's what I would say. So let me finish what I was saying. So just to add, even the stars, the moon, and the sun is all reflections of us. The sun and moon is literally a reflection of you, and that means every story that's based off the sun, moon, or star is a reflection or is based off a version of you. And then when they say based off a true story, nigga, that's what all these books and these things that talks about the sun, the one, like anything when it's dealing with a savior, like nigga, that's you, bro. Like period. Like all stories are reflecting off of us, because I mean, we're the ones writing them. But at the end of the day, like it's that simple. Like, how can a man talk about rising up to be a god if he's not a god inside of him? Like, what does he know about it? How would it, like, it's like a pear tree growing oranges. Like, if it ain't in you, it's not in you. How can you grow that? How can you talk about that? How can you be that? How can you embody that? How could you follow that if it's not in you? So obviously it's in you somehow, somewhere, and you just, maybe it's not fully you right now, but it's growing up out of you. And so we go back to that cocoon, and you the caterpillar, and eventually get into that cocoon till you can be that butterfly. You still the fucking butterfly as the caterpillar. You still the fucking caterpillar as the butterfly. Am I wrong? The body is still look like a caterpillar. It just got wings now. It's just a smaller version of itself. It's not a stick. It's not the same. It's just a different version. Whatever. It's just an evolved Pokemon. We got these movies. We got these shows and all these things that's telling us right in front of us. It's coming out of us, but then we don't believe it. Okay, if that makes sense to y'all. But all these stories are reflecting off of us, from the Hercules to Heru to motherfucking Jesus, the sun. Reflecting off of you. The motherfucking 12 disciples are you being divided. Just like the 12 zodiacs. You're divided, but you're still all of them. Period. Those 12 disciples are different. The 12 different versions of humanity type shit. Same with the 12 different versions of the zodiac. You can look at the zodiacs and you can see what disciples match up with the zodiacs. There's a certain list out there. I put it on my Twitter a while back if y'all want to dig through my photos. But they're out there. If you just look up 12 disciples versus 12 zodiac, you'll find it. So it's just showing you that that's just parts of the mind states of the mind that you have. And understanding that really the next step is bringing them all together, which Jesus was trying to do. And many other sons and versions of us that's tried to do. All based on our path, all based on us. It's just going to be done a little differently, period. But it's still based off you. There's nothing new under the sun, but whatever. Okay, let's see. Stories that reflect you. Celine, I believe Celine.